Well, here we are back on Mars looking at dunes again. Another satellite image. Um, this is an incredible picture, you guys. Wait till you see what we have on the inside. And I'm probably really crazy for not doing this with a pointer. I'm hoping that I'll be able to talk you through it. The pointer thing for me isn't working out so far. Hopefully, I'll get there someday. Maybe next video maybe I'll just work on it steadily. Anyway, so here we are looking at these crazy looking dunes from space. I don't have any idea what the altitude is, but as I said, these are not dunes. We're actually more interested in what's in between all the dunes. So all the white spots or the white areas in between the dunes are what we're going to be focusing in on here. Now, also, I'm going to be sacrificing the dunes to see what's in the white. In other words, I'm going to be putting up too much contrast, and the dunes are going to black out, and we'll be able to see the whiteness of what we're really looking at. In the next video I do, I'm going to highlight the dunes, and the white stuff will be blacked out. The dunes are exceptionally interesting, I must say, and you'll soon get a taste of that here coming up. But anyway, I had mentioned Michael Gaspard's video several times from his website, very little known guy. And he did a video on the moon, on the backside of the moon, and he was finding huge constructions shaped in the shapes of animals. Very detailed, complete with eyes. Well, it all seemed so preposterous to me. It just seemed like a crazy. I believed him just by listening to him, and he showed what he was doing and how he did it, and it was all very believable. But it seemed so preposterous to have these enormous constructions on the backside of the moon that are shaped like animals. But folks, that's what we have here. Just coincidentally, a week or two after I mentioned his videos, I find the very same type of thing here. So what we're looking at here right now is we're looking at a lovely lady. Focus in on the middle of the screen and then go up a little bit, and you see two eyes. The eyes have it. This is what draws you in. There's certain things that draw you in and make you see these things. When I saw those eyes, I said, I've seen eyes like that before. And this is a lovely lady. Her hair is up. Do you see her? She has a smile on her face, her nose, her neck goes down. She has an evening dress on. That's what it looks like to me. It's an off-the-shoulder dress. And you can see her arm going down with some amazing detail in this picture on how her arm is made. So I'm going to remind you that these are constructions. These are where these people live and work, but they make them to look like pictures, like the Nazca lines in Peru, made to be seen from high up. If you go too close in, you can't see them. But there she is. She's looking at us. She has a smile on her face. She seems very calm. A very elegant lady is how I take it, with that beautiful dress of hers. And again, you can see her arm going down. Excuse me. You can even see fingers on the arm, you guys. Do you see the fingers down there on her hand? Is not that incredible? So here she is. She's looking at us, very calm picture, just as if she's posing for us. And she's not the only one in this picture. And I have to tell you that there are pictures within pictures within pictures within pictures in this video. And these are things that maybe I wouldn't have noticed had I not watched Michael Gaspard's video. Because he showed me pictures within pictures, and I guess I started looking more closely, and by golly, that's what we have here. So we have the moon and Mars, and they're doing the same thing. They're doing the same thing. Are they the same people? I really have to wonder. So anyway, alongside this lady here is her husband. Here's a photograph, not a photograph, but a portrait of her husband. Do you see him? He's to the left of her, And he's the brightest, whitest thing there in the picture. And he has curly hair on the top of his head, and you can see his eyes and his nose and a big beard. You see him there? And he looks very stately as well. I mean, this really looks like a photograph taken and, for somebody to put on their wall. You can see these very stately looking people. But look at the detail on her arm and her chest area. And in this chest area, there's also another picture within a picture. And what we have here is there's a man with a T coming down over the top of his face. It looks like he has a bunch of things on his face, like it's a medical deal or something. And he looks like he's put back together. And you see a pipe sticking out. You can see the end of the pipe. It's very dark and round. That pipe, you guys, is a cigar. This is a man smoking a cigar. And his arm isn't as visible as the lady's arm, but he does have an arm, and you can see the fingers wrapping around that cigar. And if you look to the left, the husband's head, there's above the husband's head is a pointy thing, and that's a person hiding behind something now. And you can see his eyes looking over at the man who has all this medical equipment on his face, or whatever it is, with the man smoking the cigar. And this Tin Man looking guy standing behind and above the head. I told you I needed a pointer. His eyes are looking over and his mouth is wide open. He looks like he is aghast, like he's horrified at what he's looking at. Now back to the man with the smoke and the cigar. You can see his shoulder, and you can just see where his arm is and his fingers wrapping around the cigar. So here we have a picture of a woman and her husband, a picture of her husband, and the man with the cigar. But there's more, actually. I want to back up a little bit. So the man with the husband, the picture of him is not just a picture of him, it's also a picture of their swaddled baby. And so if you look above the man's head, you can see the round head of a baby. You can just see a hairline, an ear, his eye, and this looks like a swaddled baby. So what we have here is we have a husband, and we have a wife with a picture of her husband and a swaddled baby. So this is a family picture. And they look very stately and very elegant, frankly, and very comfortable with who they are and where they are. And maybe I'm reading in a little too much in this, but they do, don't they? They look very comfortable. And then when you throw in the picture within the picture of the man smoking the cigar there, you can see him on her chest, with the pipe, I call it a pipe, but it's a cigar sticking out. And now you can't see the Tin Man quite as well. It looks more like just the swaddled baby. Do you see this? And so here we have the woman with her husband and their swaddled baby. We have a man smoking a cigar who looks like his face has been covered up with all kinds of things, somewhat horrible looking stuff, I guess. And this has made the Tin Man, who's looking over at him there with his mouth wide open, kind of freaking him out a little bit. So I'm going to go over it again. So we have the woman, her husband, the swaddled baby. We have a man smoking a cigar and a horrified Tin Man. Do you guys see that? I really hope you do, because if you don't, somebody can just call up the guys in the ambulance and they can take me away. Yeah, that's right, the guys with the white coats. I don't know. I sure see it. I really hope that you do too. But there's more now also. There's even more. That was like 5 or 6 things I just told you. So one more thing. Now, if you look at the woman's chest, and there's a dark line, and that's all we can see. We can't see her head right now. But there's a dark line in the front of her chest coming up, and there's 2 eyes there on top of that. And what was her arm, excuse me, what was her arm is now the ear of a family pet. And this family pet seems to be staring into the face of the swaddled baby, and the pet even seems to have a bit of a smile on his face. So we have a woman, an elegant woman in an evening gown, with a picture of her stately husband, who also happens to be a swaddled baby. And we also have the family pet here, who is staring into the face of the swaddled baby. And in addition to that, we have the man with all of the medical equipment on his face, smoking a cigar, and the horrified Tin Man. All of that is in this picture, you guys. I'm pretty sure I'm not crazy, but if you're not seeing it, you definitely need to pause the video and take some time and look at this. Look for the picture within the picture. As far as the man with the cigar, you can see his right eye and his left eye is dark, and his left eye is light in color for some reason. And that little Tin Man is definitely horrified about what he was looking at. This is an incredible picture, and there's plenty more coming up, guys. There's several things more in this picture that we're looking at right now, and I've missed a lot, and I've not only missed a lot, but I've just not going to cover every single thing I see in the picture here. There's plenty of things to see, and what you always start with, of course, is the eyes. The eyes have it. When you see the eyes, you start looking around, and you're going to see some crazy stuff. There are stories going on here. There are things happening, and all of this is made to be seen from high altitude. And it's all made out of their construction. I don't mean to be repetitive any more than I always am, but it bears reminding that we are looking at a city, for lack of a better word. This entire area is covered with buildings, and these buildings are what make up these pictographs. Are these pictographs? I guess they're pictographs. So here she is, there they are. It's a lovely family, isn't it? And look at that cute animal, that dog staring up at the baby. I just think it's absolutely darling. Now, we're going to move away from the lady, and we're going to go to the right a little bit, and to the left of the lady, to the right, our right of her, down towards the bottom, is a picture of a long face, and it also is a picture within a picture, but it's just a picture of a face. You have eyes and a nose and a mouth, and I'm going to point those things out, and I'm going to point out the other picture in the same face. And this one is not as interesting as all the rest, but he's close by, so I thought I'd put him in there. There's also something above the long face up there, but I'll let you tell me what you think that is. But there he is. Now, I made this video really slow because I wanted to be able to talk enough to talk you through all of this. So bear with me. Once we get past here, things are going to go a little bit faster, and you're going to see a little bit more. But I just pointed out the eyes and the nose and the mouth, and then if you keep looking, you'll see two eyes, a nose, and a mouth, a separate set of eyes. The nose from the first individual becomes one of the eyes of the second individual. And I guess they're sharing the same mouth. We'll be moving on from there. We're going to go up above. We'll start climbing up this picture. And as I said, it's a little slow right now, but look at the detail. I keep coming back to the woman. It's incredible. So here we are. There's the woman. You see her. She's to the left of center. You can see her eyes and her husband and the baby. And on the right-hand side of this woman is what looks like a bunny rabbit. Now, look at the ears. I really focus in on the ears of this bunny rabbit. It gives you an idea of the the construction. And by the way, I threw this picture in special because the dark dune on the right I brought out a little bit. You see all those buildings in there? These aren't dunes. They're not even raised above anything else. Everything's the same height. It's just a question of coloration. But there's Mr. Bunny sitting right next to the family there. Maybe that's another pet or something. Now in this picture in the center, just down from center, we have a snake's head. This looks like a python. He has 2 eyes and a mouth. And when we zoom in a little bit, you can even just barely see a little idea of where his tongue might be slipping out. You can just barely see it there. And I'm not going to spend much time on the snake. I don't know what his purpose is, but there are plenty of other things to look at, and there's a lot of purposeful things going on here. Boy, I've complained about doing 15-minute videos, but this is a 30-minute. Anyway, here we go. Here we have the 3 amigos, guys. The 3 amigos. Do you see him right in the middle of the screen? And on the left of center is a fox, what appears to be a fox, and he has, you see his ears and his eyes. His eyes are looking sort of down. He's got a black nose, and he's kind of grimacing a little bit. And right dead center is a primate. You see him? And just a little primate right there. And right next to him on the right is Hilda the hippo. Okay? I'm not saying they have hippos and primates and foxes on Mars. I never said that. They also don't have alligators on the moon, among other things that he showed. Look at the detail of what's connected to the primate going up. What is that? I guess it's construction, but it's very unusual looking. But here they are. They're the 3 amigos, and as I said, the fox seems to be grimacing. We're going to get an idea about what that's all about. But do you see Mr. Fox and Mr. Primate and Hilda the hippo? In the front of Hilda the hippo's mouth and nose is also a picture within a picture. It's a little hard to see. I wasn't going to mention it, but there's another creature with his mouth open there on the end of Hilda's nose. But basically speaking, we're seeing a fox, a primate, and the hippo. And again, I'm moving kind of slowly because these guys are important. I want you to be able to see them. There's so much more to show you. I really wish I had a pointer here, but I don't, so here we go. And I pointed them out now. I think you probably saw them already, I have no doubt. I hope so. I mean, these are easy to see, I think, aren't they? I mean, when the doorbell rings, I know it's going to be the guys in the white jackets coming to get me. I'm hoping not. The 3 amigos. Now, why on Earth, or why on Mars or anywhere else, why do they have depictions of animals from Earth and on the moon? Doesn't that strike you as... I don't know how it strikes me, to tell you the truth. It's very surprising. They're well aware of who we are and what is on our planet. Do they watch our TV? Do they watch our movies? Do they listen to our radio and our music? I gotta wonder about that. I mean, they must. Now, I've backed out a little ways here, and can you see the primate just in the center of the screen, just to the top, and Mr. Fox there to the left, and Hilda the hippo to the right of him? And now we know why Mr. Fox is grimacing, because he has a shark coming up that wants to bite his ass, and that shark has some serious teeth on it. And I realize it's out of context. I mean, why does a shark, go after a fox? I don't know. And maybe that's not what it really is. That's just what it looked like to me. But there's our little primate right in the middle, and we're going to be going, I think we're going to be moving over to the right here shortly. Just another shot of the three amigos. They're so cute. I mean, why are all these pictures so darling? We have an elegant husband and wife and a baby, and we've got these cute animals. Seriously? And this is all made to be seen from space, made out of their construction. I just find it shocking. So we're going to look at these. These are two faces over here, and it's kind of a silly drawing I put on here. Basically, I was just trying to tell you that these faces are oriented left and right. So their chins are on the left, and the tops of their heads are on the right. And the one right in the middle, that guy's looking at us. And he's kind of a scary looking guy. He looks like somebody from Hellraiser or something. Remember that movie Hellraiser? He's definitely looking right at us. And he's got his buddy there to the right. And as I said, their chins are to the left and the tops of the heads are to the right. You see him? And it looks like this Hellraiser dude has spikes going through his cheeks. That's what made me think about whether they watch our movies or not. And seems to be something attached to his chin as well. And his buddy next to him there, you can very clearly see his ear, his eye, his nose, his lips, his pointy chin, and he's got really cool hair. I mean, he's got Mr. Astro hair, his long, styled hair, you know. So a couple dudes hanging out. I don't see any particular thing going on here, and you can see Hilda the hippo there to the left, to the far left. And look what's above these two heads, okay? There's something there in the darkness, a very cool looking construction. Excuse me, I've been fighting a cold. Very, very interesting looking structures there. These structures are bigger than everything else around, yet when you look at the design of those structures, it makes you think of something that would be much smaller. But I really did everything I could to bring them out. I probably went a little too far on the contrast and whatever. But you can see those. It's just a little sideline here. These are minor compared to everything else I've seen. That's really a little too much contrast, but I think you can see them. Very interesting looking buildings. Very interesting looking. And apparently if you're going to go there, you have to get by the guy with the spikes through his cheek. So just a little perspective shot. Now we're going to go in a little bit, I think, to the left and above. We're going to go a little above the two faces that we were just looking at. And everything in there are pictures of things. Now, I have numbered pictures here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Excuse me. And we're going to start with number 3 and 4 to look a little more closely. This is a picture of a man and a woman. Do you see their eyes? It always starts with their eyes. Now, number 3, the man there, right in the middle. These people are also oriented with their chins to the left and the tops of their heads to the right. Now the man in the middle has something on his face. He too has something on his face. And I think it's unexpected because if you look at his eyes, he's going cross-eyed looking down at whatever this is on his face. And it starts on his nose and it covers his mouth, and he seems to be a little freaked out about it. But he's not the only one. If you look at his girlfriend there, her eyes are very, very wide, and her mouth is wide open, and she's got a big buck tooth or buck teeth or whatever you want to call it, and you can see her hair flowing down. So she's also aghast at whatever it is that's on her boyfriend's nose and mouth. That's the way I take it. You know, like I said, I think the men in the white truck, I think I just heard them close their doors on their truck. They're probably walking towards the door right now. I don't know. But here they are. Came in pretty close. I'm not sure if that's going to be what you need to see, but when I say that, I hope it's not too close. But there are plenty more here. And we want to go back and see number 1 and 2. Where did they go? Where did they go? Look at all these pictures here. Look at the little guy right next to the man with the thing on his face, up above him there. Little creature of some kind. So here we are. We're looking at 2 more pictures here. This is number 1 and 2, and again they're oriented with their chins to the left and the tops of their heads on the right. And you can very clearly see with the one on top his chin, his eyes, his nose, and he also has some cool hair that's kind of going off there. And the one next to him has really wide eyes and a pointy nose, and his mouth is wide open. He kind of looks like one of those guys from the old Archie comics, you know. And right in the center is something, but I'm avoiding it because I can't quite see it. I know there's something there, and maybe you guys can tell me what you see. But there's another picture of the little creature. Very cute little thing. Almost looks like you can see his whiskers. And right next to him looks like some sort of almost like a platypus kind of creature. Might have too many legs or something. I don't know. And right above there's the guy with the stuff on his nose. It almost looks like there was something there that took a poop on his face. I don't know. Of course I don't know. Now here we have the two number 1 and 2 again. And the number 1 picture, this one here, look differently at it. I don't know how to describe this. There's 2 pictures in one. There's the one where his hair is down and he's looking towards the left, and then if you take another look at it, it's an alien head looking to the right, looking the opposite direction, and this one's oriented with the top of his head at the top of the screen and his chin towards the bottom. And he has one big eye and one squinting eye. Is that like a nod to the alien culture on this world? You know, squint, squint, aliens, you know? But he does have the classic gray-shaped head. And I hope you can see that, because for the longest time I looked at it only as an alien, and at the last minute I saw it as a regular person's face. Very interesting. So back out a little bit for some more perspective. I hope you guys are seeing this. I really hope you're seeing this. Seriously, I really hope you're seeing this. So right to the right of the center is a beautiful horse. And I have more pictures of him coming up, but he's a beautiful horse with his head arched, his neck arched, and his head down. And I'll come back to that. And right next to him is what to me looks like a bug. It has 2 slits for nose holes. You can see the eyes and the mouth. It looks like a big bug to me. Or if it's not a big bug, it's a big alien. I don't know. You see him? Kind of scary looking in a way. There's the horse right in the middle. And to the right of the horse, there he is. And it looks like he has a bridle on. And his tongue is sticking out. I haven't seen too many horses with their tongue sticking out, but this is what it looks like to me. And to the right of the horse is what looks like a cartoon man. And he's pointing his finger straight up. I didn't see what he was pointing at. I don't know what it could be. But he's kind of really pretty funny looking. He's really comical looking. He's got his mouth wide open, his tongue hanging wide out. And you can see his eyes, his nose. It almost looks like he has a brushy mustache. Very unusual. And down at the bottom of the screen, you can just see the primate's eyes sticking up above the edge of the screen. So like a cartoon figure. Here's our Mr. Horse again. Isn't he beautiful? He's elegant. Looks like one of those Arabian horses. So as I said several times, I hope I'm not crazy, and I hope I was able to pull this off. If not, I'll redo it. You guys let me know, okay? Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you soon.